It was good. It was short. I didn't spend much time away from this place. I had about 3 weeks, most with the family, back in Florida. You know, just family business.
Excitement in your nerves right now?
I'm
Nerves
I'm
of the word?
absolutely excited for this football team. Going back and watching our spring drills. I mean, it's a good football team, and a bunch of guys worked hard. So now we've got to just come to camp and put it together.
Having a chance to look into practices and then maybe step back and see the quarterback battle, is there a preference to decide it sooner rather than later, or has anything changed regarding that position?
It has not changed. Again, with the time, I'm not concerned about time. In my opinion, time allows for a fair competition. Time allows for both guys to put their best foot forward, and time allows for us to make a sound decision. So I'm not concerned about the time. I think time is a good thing with this deal. It's a huge deal for our football team. It's a huge deal for those two guys. So to rush a decision without being sure makes no sense for everyone involved. So I'm not concerned about time, guys. I want the best guy for this football team.
Would you, having said that, can I be more specific and say
Sure.
you'd like it before that third preseason game against Green Bay?
That would be ideal, guys. It would be ideal. But again, it's going to play itself out, okay? And as far as the quarterback, as those guys compete, our football team won't stop getting better. We're still tackling, we're still playing defense, we're still blocking. So that one position won't stop this team from getting better. So I'm not, again, concerned about time. It's going to separate itself. Someone's going to show that they're the best man for our team. And when it does, I'll call it off.
Do you have a plan for how they will split reps at the beginning of training camp?
We're going to start out with Trevor with the first team tomorrow. But that being said, every day they will rotate certain drills. Okay, so Trevor starts out Thursday, Paxton starts out Friday. But inside of practice, it may be Paxton with the first team doing 7-on-7. It may be Trevor first team as with the move the ball drill. So it's gonna be equally divided.
As you know, from the player's perspective,
Yes.
they would like a decision sooner than later on
Sure.
the quarterback situation.
Sure.
Do you try and strike that balance, or does it really matter what the players think?
It does matter what the players think because it's their football team, but it's my job and the staff's job to find the best guy for the job. And again, the quarterback competition should not deter guys from doing their job, right? If you're a receiver, do your job no matter who's the quarterback. And in most camps, most of the receivers, backs, O-line, they're playing with both guys. So it should not matter to the players outside of Paxton and Trevor.
How much do you factor in just the general chemistry aspect?
Mhm.
You're deciding on the quarterback and also trying to make sure they have a
Right.
good rapport with their
Right.
receivers.
Well, that's why you alternate guys, because you can develop the rapport that way. Every receiver, every back, every offensive lineman who's on our football team is going to play with Paxton and Trevor. So that's why you alternate days, alternate drills. So everyone has a chance to play with every guy.
The importance of
Sorry.
finding the right quarterback, taking the time to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Does that really does that diminish the possibility of effectiveness of your offense early in the season?
It does not. It does not, guys. Both guys are in the same system. Again, guys, the quarterback is a huge deal, obviously. But for our football team, the system that we put in, the blocking, the throwing, the catching won't stop. So that should not slow us down, okay? In my opinion, it should help us play better. Once we find a guy that fits the system and who's the right guy for us, it's going to help us play better. So again, guys, I'm not concerned with, that's a nice song. I'm not, hey, fired up, baby. I am not concerned with the time frame. I'm not. I want the best guy for us. And again, guys, it's here. So it's going to happen fairly quickly. So it's not like we're in the spring and I'm telling you guys it's not even started yet. It's here. It's started. So It's weeks away. How many weeks? I don't know, but it's weeks away. It has to be.
You think it adds intensity to the whole camp, and that would be a good thing?
Absolutely, man. That's what we want. Outside of the quarterback battle, we've got a serious battle at receiver, at running back, at left tackle, at the fit corner spot. So that's one component that we're concerned about. But it's battles all over this football team, and it should be that way every camp.
You mentioned left tackle. What does Garrett Bowles have to do to separate himself to win the starting job as a rookie?
He has to know what to do on every play and block his guy. Simple as that. And he's going to be with the first team along with Ty Sambrello tomorrow.
How hard is that for a rookie to know what to do in every?
It's not. We do football for a living. I mean, he's been here now for 4 or 5 months. So he's a first-round pick. We have good coaches. He will know what to do. And obviously, he's a first-round pick for a reason, so he should block his guy.
How do you bring along Jamal and plan for bringing along Jamal, Matt, and Godson?
All 3 guys were cleared for training camp. Matt Paradis, the first week, he's only going to do drills and walkthroughs. The same with Adam Gotsis, drills and walkthroughs. As far as Jamal, he's been cleared for everything. But that being said, we're not going to push him out there too quickly and burn Jamal out. We want to continue to go slow with Jamal and continue to rehab him and get him strong so we can have Jamal for the season. That's my goal for Jamal, is to have him ready in September. But all 3 guys have been cleared, but we're going to be smart with all 3 guys.
Coach, with all the questions you've heard this morning, a large number of them about the quarterback.
Sure.
How do you keep that from being a distraction with all the other things you need to accomplish in camp? And is it okay if it is a little bit of a distraction?
As far as this football team, in my opinion, it won't be a distraction. I mean, it's been going on for a while now, since the spring, so the guys are aware of what's going on. And, everyone involved wants the best guy for our football team, And in my opinion, we've got 2 guys that we can win with. So that's tough, but it's a good problem to have. We're going to come out of this thing with 2 quarterbacks. And that's the old rule of thumb. If you have 2, you don't have 1. But I don't believe in that. We have 2 guys who've proven they can play NFL football. Who's the better guy for us? We don't know yet. But in my opinion, at the end, we're going to have 2.
Having you, Ryan Musgrave, all 3 former quarterbacks, how does that add to determining this quarterback? Assuming you all have different views.
Right. It's a good thing, even with John being in our building, as obviously a great quarterback, So it's going to be a group decision. It's going to be mine and the staff, and obviously John's going to have input. But I think, Mike's experience with young quarterbacks, Bill's experience with young quarterbacks. I played quarterback in college, and obviously John. I mean, we've got some minds to pick the right guy, and that's important. And I think that's good for both guys to have 4 or 5 guys in the building who understands quarterback play, who can make the right decision.
How helpful is it for you that you've got Mike Roy, Barry Kubiak, guys who've been former head coaches, that you can solicit for advice?
It's very important. Gary's going to be around, some in the scouting department. So it's important to have guys you can bounce these things off. These are huge decisions. It's huge for us, but it's also huge for those 2, players. I mean, to be a starting quarterback in this league is a big deal. So it's huge for everyone involved. So to have Mike and Bill and John and Koob, that's huge for us.
Since you'll be playing preseason games before you know it,
Sorry.
Coach,
Mhm.
how do you weigh what you see in camp compared to what you see in the games? What kind of weight scale?
Where the games are huge because that's where it counts. Obviously practice is a controlled environment, but that's why you have the games, and that's why I love the games in preseason, because it's not a controlled environment. It's football. It's guys getting hit, and that makes a difference in football. Who wins these jobs? It's a physical game. So some guys don't play as well. When it's live bullets, and some guys play better in shorts. But that's what camps for. Camps for to put on pads and to play football, and that's why it's hard to have competitions outside of pads, because it's played in pads.
Coach Under, Gary Kubiak, what does it mean to have you around as a resource?
It's important. Obviously Coop's played most of his career here. He coached most of his career here. He's a Bronco, and I work for Coach, and most of my coaching principles come from Coach Kubiak. So for me, selfishly, to have him around to kind of bounce things off of him as a young head coach, I'm embracing that, guys. I want as many guys that can help me around me that I can have. You know, Mike McCoy, Musgraves, Jeep Chris, all these guys are experienced guys, and I didn't want to be a young first-time coach. You know, hiring young guys so I can feel like I'm in charge. You know, I want guys who can help us win, not just me.
Were you consulted at all on Gary coming back?
Absolutely.
And how excited are you just?
I'm happy for us and happy for Coop because, you know, he wants to be involved with football, and he should be here. He's a Bronco.
When you evaluate guys in pads, is it even more important along the offensive and defensive lines, or how would you kind of explain
Right.
that part in terms of seeing guys with the pads on?
Absolutely. In my opinion, that's why you have training camp, because you can't, again, evaluate the football issues outside of pads, stopping the run, running the football. You can't do it in the spring because no one's having full contact. So the things that win football games, blocking and tackling, you have to perfect in training camp. And that's the beauty of training camp and putting on pads. You know, that's where the game's played. And you have guys who are very, very average players in shorts that are really good in pads and vice versa. So football's played in pads, and that's the beauty of camp. You have a chance to put on pads and have some full contact.
Going back to Jamal Charles for a second, obviously he's one of the special players in the league this year, and recovery's really important physically.
Yeah.
Do you think there might be a little bit of a psychological hurdle there too? Injury and absence?
I couldn't speak for Jamal, but you know, I mean, he's been injured for a year and a half, and it's our job to get Jamal as healthy as he can be, because if he gets back to being Jamal, we got something special there. But I can't speak for his mental as far as the injuries. But you know, most guys who's played you know, for a long time, you know, they get past that. You know, I can't say it won't be an issue, but I can't speak for Jamal.
I know the quarterback competition before the way, you know, a long time ago in college.
Sure.
How do you talk to your quarterbacks about don't play conservative and let the other guy fail? In other words, you instruct him to go out and win the job and make the decision for us rather than see who makes the fewest mistakes? What's your approach?
Absolutely. I mean, go out and win the job. Football's a game of mistakes, you know, and you don't want a guy being conservative, not wanting to make mistakes because he's being graded every day. And that's why, in my opinion, time is a good thing. It allows both guys to play enough football with you know, without any restraints, you know, so we can make a sound decision. You know, if you make it too quick, you know, one guy may be a little tight, one guy may be a little loose, but in 2 weeks it may change. So I think time is a good thing to allow both guys to put their best foot forward so we can find the best guy for our football team.
What's the status on Shaq Barrett?
Shaq Barrett is going to be on NFI. So, you know, he can't, you know, he won't do anything during camp. He's going to rehab with our trainers off on the side there, and we want to get Shaq back as soon as possible. But he's going to be on NFI.
Could he miss the start of the season?
Could he? He could. You know, I'm not sure right now. I mean, he's working hard. He's getting better really, really fast. I've been shocked how fast he's getting better. But I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you right now, but it's possible.
As long as like
Do you think he'll split things at running back?
At running back, you know, obviously we've got CJ and Book, you know, taking most of the first and second team reps, along with Thompson. You know, Jamal's going to bounce, you know, in between the first, second, and third team. D'Angelo's going to get, you know, also some third team reps. You know, it's not. We're going to run probably 3 groups, and it's 1 practice a day. You know, so it's tough to say how the reps are going to be split. But we've got 5 or 6 guys that need reps there, so we got to figure it out. But it's going to be, you know, divided equally amongst those guys.
But Booker will get first team.
Absolutely, he's earned that.
what do you want to see out of CJ?
I'm sorry.
What do you want to see out of CJ this year?
Out of CJ, you know, he's proven he's an NFL back. You know, I mean, yeah, you know, he's got to prove he can play 16 games and obviously be the bell cow. That's what I want for CJ. But that time's going to tell a lot. I can't tell you that from 3 weeks of training camp. But he's in great shape. I tell you that about CJ. He's probably in the best shape he's been in 3 or 4 years, and that's important for him. But it's a crowded room, and iron sharpens iron. So he understands that Booker is a good young player, you know, along with Jamal, and we've got D'Angelo Henderson, you know, as a young draft pick. So it's a competitive room, and that should push all those guys to get better.
Last question.
I'm sorry?
You just like a whole bunch of guys in the backfield.
Yeah.
Andy Janigas kind of was perfect for the Kubiak system. How's he gonna fit in now with that big attack backfield?
Right. He's fine. I mean, he's a fullback. You know, so I mean, he's a specialty player. He's a fullback, but he's a great special teams player also. So he's an important piece of our backfield unit. Outside of being a runner with the football, he's a great blocker and a great teams player. So he's an important piece for us.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.